did they do? How did they cover it?
Pretty well. I think the malpractice, I had just was going to go into maybe the difference in the roles that they had, but
so if you were to do that part, how would you do it differently?
well, I guess I would have been a little bit, those were my slides, so I would have been a little bit more prepared to speak on them.
Such as?
We had just bulleted the different rules, of the county rule, the minority rule, the error in judgment rule. I would have kind of explained what those were. Would have described what malpractice was. That slide was just a slide to describe what is malpractice. And then the NJ case, that information was pretty straightforward, what our company concerns would be, and then what we would do to try to recoup from litigation.
Okay, Hannah, when you are the quality officer, right? Now, on medical malpractice part, that kind of goes in under that section, and then you have the compensation at 7% salary, 30% incentive, and those incentives are based on quality metrics. Now, how do you see that affecting the malpractice case if you are based on 7% productivity, 30% quality? Do you believe that that's going to actually allow those physicians to do what they need to do in a good way, that you don't have a lot of malpractice cases?
What are you you're just saying how would the percentages kind of change in order for them to make up for the
group pays
malpractice suit?
How is it going to impact the behavior of the physician? Are they going to be more aggressive to make more, or are they going to be saying, well, the quality is important and I have a good quality portion of my total. So based on that, it's going to say, him or she may say, well, I should be more careful and pay attention on the quality, and then I still can make a lot of money, but I practice better.
I would say focus on the quality in order to build the trust and relationship for the future, because in every business there's always going to be profit and loss. So you want to kind of focus on what you have at the moment, and in the future you can always make up your money, but at this certain time I would say focus on quality instead of quantity.
But I understand that, but 30%, is that enough to allow them to focus on quality?
No, I would say there would have to be more quality.
So why did you do that?
So that we, so that our practice could, some of the percentages would have to be taken away from the other points. So, what are you?
Well, you said now you are disagreeing with the formula that you guys have. You are saying that that's not enough to make them focus them on the quality. If that's the case, then isn't that wouldn't you say something about it?
Can you pull back the budget on that?
We would have to readjust those percentages.
This was your chance to do it, did you? That's my question is, now see, 4 of you are the chiefs for this organization, so what, especially when you are the chief of certain departments, sections, so you do know that part better than even your CEO. So if your focus is going to be on the malpractice and the quality and the outcome, and if you see potential issues with your compensation, that's going to affect the outcome, put the group more under more risk. Wouldn't that be like something that you would address before it happens?
Yes, I should have changed the percentages
Well,
before.
Being the CEO of the company, I think $25,000 is a lot of money for that 30% section. So why wouldn't they want to be more careful of what they're doing, like, in order to make up that 25,000. That's a lot. That's an additional 25,000 to what they were already getting for their 190,000 pay.
On top of 190, they're getting $85,000, right?
Yes, if they complete all those different levels.
But see, even like right now, you have what's the base salary?
190.
13% extra.
No, the total salary of the sergeant.
I think it's 190,000.
Huh?
192.
192,000, right? So then you have 85 for the incentive.
86.
So this is the base. So the total is, what's the total? 77. So then you have this divided to 40, 30 and 30%. And then only 30% of this total is for quality. So that's not even like 70-30 actually. So 30% of the 85 out of 277 is what, about 30%. So it's almost like 10% of their total compensation is based on quality. So now let me ask you this. If it's 10%, is that going to be enough?
No, we have to
If I'm making
reevaluate that.
277, do I really care about 25,000 that much?
Yeah.
So, okay. Now, let me, Natalia, if you were to fire someone in the beginning, who would you fire?
From my group.
No, the other group, of course.
Myself.
You accept that? We have only one class left, so you don't have to worry about what.
I'm not worried about what they think. Everybody has their own functions, what they're good at.
But if you have to,
Downsize?
no, you have to fire someone.
Well, I'll fire Irene. She's already fired.
Huh?
Irene.
Agree.
She's already fired.
No, I mean, if you had to fire someone, who would you fire?
Based upon what reasoning, just because
About how you guys work together.
How we work together. I don't know, usually the leader of the group is usually the person that would have made or break the group. So, no offense, I guess I would have let go.
Okay. Hannah, how about you? So come on, don't make this too difficult. Just say you know who it is.
I would say I would say Natalia, because if our numbers, if we're for profit and if we're not making profit for our investors and
But I'm not saying that you're not making profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now you are making $4 million
right.
profit. So there's no logic on this one. So I'm actually really asking from the way that you guys work together, and now you have a chance to fire. One of you would be, for example, in the beginning, if you were to choose the team, who would you not choose? It's not like I don't want you to fire Natalia. If that's the person, you should. But if, I don't want you to make that depend on those numbers, because numbers are good. In fact, they're just too good.
Okay, possibly Alicia, because there wasn't, in the beginning, there wasn't a lot of structure within the group. Like, we weren't really delegated tasks until the end. So it's not good to, leave things towards the end, because that's when we should be fixing our problems and stuff like that. So I would say Alicia, the Chief Executive Officer.
Alright, that's fair.
I would fire all of them. Because I think communication is
Well, let's do this, just one person. Because I would fire everyone right now, like, but who would that be if you have only one person? It's not, it has nothing to do
Well,
with.
my thing is communication is a three-way, well, it's a two-way street. So if you're putting in and not getting any outcome of it, it's pointless, it's just you by yourself. So I have to say all three of them.
Okay, no, but as a leader, isn't that kind of, you are in charge of that?
Yeah, but you can't make people communicate if you're putting in and not getting anything out.
Well, you could have fired them.
Thank you.
I mean, you could have fired them before. So let's just
So
go
you just
down to
want
one
me
person.
to this? Have to be one person. I would have to say, I would have to fire Irene.
Alright.
Because, I'm sorry.
No, there's no because, that's fine, I just, the reasons may be, okay. Now, the reason I was actually putting you on the spot is because I wanted to deal with it, because in some cases, if this was a real business, you are going to fire this person, whoever that person is. Now, you are lucky that this is not a real company, but like tomorrow if you are really working, like Natalia is working at Glasgow Medical